2 out of 3 options, yes. Against the Denver Broncos, yes, especially considering that you're facing a backup quarterback who is going to be on a short leash, some short play caller marionette strings in the form of Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos offensive hive mind. And then if they were to make it to the big game, then I would say, yes, you can intimidate, you can impose your will, you can flummox, frustrate, and confuse Sam Darnold. I hate to say it, though. I feel like Matt Stafford would wave the hand and go like, "Your Jedi mind tricks would not work on me, boy." Like I don't think he would be beaten down, confused, or stymied by the Patriots the same way that a Sam Darnold would, and most especially Jarrett Stidham, and an at times slightly overrated Denver Broncos offense.
And I would also add to the mix of your take there, like Sean McVay. I mean, Sean McVay is supposed to be the best or one of the handful of best offensive coaches, play callers in football. So
100%.
To just say that Zack and company are just going to throw things at Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford that they can't handle, that they can't make up for with the talent they have, the experience they have, that's a lot. And I don't think it's true. I don't think the Patriots defense is good enough to simply carry a team to a title where we're going to, in 10 years, say, remember that 2025, 2026 Patriots defense?
No.
The way we talk about Denver, the way we talk about Baltimore or Chicago or some of those all-time great defenses that...
The Steel Curtain.
Right.
The Purple People Eaters.
If you win the Super Bowl, and I'm not ruling out winning the Super Bowl, let's make that real clear, you're going to get maybe what you got last week, because I don't think the defense could beat the Texans just on their own last week. I think you needed the catch and run from Pop Douglas. I think you needed a couple really nice throws from Drake May, including one to Kayshon Boutte. If you don't have those plays from the passing game and you don't have the complementary run game of Ramondre Stevenson, that game gets even crazier and uglier. I don't know how that game plays out if it's just interceptions for C.J. Stroud and fumbles for Drake May. If that second quarter trend just continued the whole game and Drake never started making plays, we might still be watching that game. It might be, tied in overtime going period after period of bad football. So I think that's what you need. You need complementary offense. I don't know that you need greatness on offense with the way they're playing. But let me ask you, Fitzy, my question that we had in the doc before I listened to Jones and Keefe coming in to undercut my own question. Are they as good as they've played the last couple weeks? Like, they're playing really well. They are playing phenomenal football. Putting up, if you follow social media, there's some, historic numbers and company they're joining over the first couple playoff games. Is that reality? Is that, they're all getting healthy and Zack is getting comfortable with his talent? Is that how good they are? Or have they just played 2 really good football games against willing foes?
To me, it's more the latter. I mean, the Chargers couldn't get out of their own way, but again, the Patriots also enforced their will upon them. So this is where the complementary nature of good football comes into play. The Texans couldn't get out of bed without falling on their face. The Patriots took advantage of it. This is what this whole season has been about. When people aren't good enough, the Patriots take advantage of it. It's the edict that Mike Vrabel built this entire season and team around. We'll be good enough to take advantage of bad football. C.J. Stroud was horrendous on Sunday, and the Patriots defense was very good, rather opportune at times, gladly taking what they were given. The week before, Justin Herbert, deer in headlights, bad offensive line, Patriots pass rush, feasted on him. Now this coming Sunday, backup quarterback, however, really good offensive line with the Denver Broncos. Not the most elite assets, weaponry, and complementary players that they'll see all season long, but pretty darn good and a nice mastermind in the form of Sean Payton. I know we've done this each and every week, like this now represents their greatest challenge on the season. This is a sneaky big challenge coming up. No. This is their biggest challenge to date on the season.
Is it
Sunday.
Facing a backup quarterback? Because it's funny you bring in one of the tenets of day one, Mike Vrabel. Be ready to take advantage of bad football, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this defense is any good at all, and they're going against a backup quarterback that hasn't thrown a pass in 2 calendar years, that's 1-3 in his 4 career starts, that's never started a postseason game, you should be in position to create bad football because you just did it against two quarterbacks, whatever you think of them exiting the game is different. Entering the game, you played two quarterbacks that are supposed to be top 10-ish. Certainly Justin Herbert is supposed to be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. When Stroud is right, he's top 12. But because of what he does when he Strouds around, he usually ends up 15, 16, 17.
And yet we heard from Dan Orlovsky after the game, anybody but Stroud would have beaten the New England Patriots. Literally any other quarterback. Like, Stroud was the worst quarterback in the history of the world playing against the Patriots. So
he was pretty bad. He was pretty bad.
Jarrett Stidham, you face him on Sunday. Is this defense just ready to keep this train rolling? You roll through Herbert, you roll through Stroud, and now you're going to roll through Stidham? I believe it is, because I believe Zach Core is the most underrated, disrespected man in all of football right now.
Wait, how in the hell is Zach Corbin's disrespected?
Well, last Monday I listened to Pete Schrager say Zach Core had to take over play calling duties on Saturday against the Chargers. You didn't know he's been calling plays all season since September? Like, nobody knows who Zach Core is.
There's been a bit of a mystery. There's been a bit of a mystery, I think, behind how exactly the Patriots defense has been orchestrated, because Terrell Williams first was in the building, then he had to take leave. Then fortunately he was well enough to come back, and people weren't sure if he was whistling in plays or if he laid out the blueprint. Then Zach Kerr just basically had to execute his plan, and also how much Mike Vrabel was involved. There's a lot that we don't know about it. What we do know is that there are three very capable defensive minds helping put together the game plans. How it goes about, we weren't sure up until a few weeks ago. Now we know, and I think the man has been getting his due, and I'm extremely happy for him. But
yeah,
I don't believe him to be disrespect. I save that word for more intense situations.
I haven't seen him getting any due, and we've known he was calling plays since late September, and there's no doubt about it. He holds the play sheet. Mike Vrabel is a CEO head coach. That's quite clear. Mm-hmm. We know that because the camera's on him a lot on the sideline, and he's not calling plays. He's not
usually
doing
bending over like he's got gas.
Zach Core is the defensive play caller, the defensive coordinator in action, if not title, and I'm not sure anybody in football really knows it. Certainly Pete Schrager, who's as tied in as anybody. If you believe people, Pete Schrager is the PR machine behind coach hires, if you believe Twitter, that he's getting Robert Saleh hired, and he pushes buttons with owners, and everybody trusts Pete Schrager. Pete Schrager didn't know who called the defensive plays for one of the best teams in football, for one of the great stories in the National Football League. That's Zach Core. That's Zach Core, who's now blitzing 46% of the time, I think, in the totality of the postseason, getting after people, zero blitzes on the goal line, in the red zone, forcing incompletions early in games that are game-changing. And Zach Core, I haven't heard a lot of talk about. It's fine, and maybe Vrabel likes it that way. Hell, maybe Zach Core likes it that way. Maybe he doesn't want to have anybody criticizing him if they, get blown out in a game. And it's easier if Vrabel is seen as the defensive leader in New England. But this defense, I think, is playing elite football, and they're building momentum, Fitzy. And I think the emotional momentum that they're building might be making them better than they actually are, if that makes any sense.